staying consistent with the, you know, the SPX commandments has gone a long way into getting this thing to where it is now, right? Like those commandments alone have filtered out people, you know, like people just, you know, talk about those and people are like, oh, you know, for a while there it was like, oh, you know, blah, 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 this commandment should be this, or, right? It's just like, you know, those people filtered out, and you know, but I definitely, I'm excited to hear a little bit more of what you're thinking about and what you got to talk about in Amsterdam with that stuff.
Well, that is exactly, like, you've hit on the exact thing that allows organizations like ours to scale. They have like cultural norms, basically. Like even at a team level, that was one of the first jobs that I do with setting up a team, is like, what are going to be our like 10 or 12 norms that we are going to adopt as a team. And they weren't just kind of like technical things. There would be something like, it's okay to disagree. Like that was a classic norm that I'd normally try and like put into a team wherever I could, you know, and suggest that might be a good one. So you have to have some kind of commandments, cultural norms. And actually, if you don't, and you don't get that right fairly early on, or don't consistently reinvest and review, then everything else almost doesn't matter, and you will not be able to function without process and structure and formality if you don't have those norms that like automatically keep people back on track and keep them like keep high coherence. So that is going to be, you know, that's going to be a big part of the talk, is, you know, culture over structure, basically, and how important that is. But then one of the things that I've been thinking about is, okay, like we actually have some amazing like norms already in the, and that's why I put a little post up the other day of like, what are our kind of like biggest mimetic phrases. But also what I'm thinking about is, do we actually have any blind spots? And especially as we grow bigger, and that we might need a couple of new ones as we evolve and as we go on, to protect ourselves from some of the failure modes that often happen to like really decentralized swarm kind of organizations like this as they grow in scale. Because I think we're already seeing a little bit of fraying on the edges sometimes. And I think it's like just that we all start to develop an awareness around it, so that when something inevitably like becomes contentious, we don't go, oh, well, now we need you know, some kind of process structure and like really hard fixed rules. Actually, maybe we just need to like evolve the culture a little bit, and we just need a new little bit of guidance that will just steer everybody back on track. So yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting.
It's awesome. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I'm going to show all the speakers real quick, because I have this on my list of things to show off. Show that at the stage. Yeah, T-Dog announced this, so there's going to be dubbing. We got Flippard, we got Jesse, Moss, Arlanky, IFTY, Seb, Aeon Reborn, and Murad. That's gonna be awesome.
I love that we have an 8-year-old as one of the panelists. And a prodigy philosopher, that one.
And a researcher and teacher. You know,
he's the thinker.
Yeah, he's actually been really working super hard behind the scenes. And I think, I don't know, I haven't directly asked him, but I think he's got a lot of experience in the sort of conference and talk kind of circuit a little bit. I think he might be like me, that's like had to do this thing professionally in the past. So he's really been on it in terms of like, right, guys, March 1st is the deadline for like submissions of your abstracts and all the rest of it. We are going to have slides. You'll have to have the slides ready and so on. Awesome. So hopefully that will lead to a good outcome. I was going to say, like, when I looked at the list, I was like, well, I have done a few presentations before at like software engineering sort of conferences and things like that. And but I actually looked at the list and I'm like, I'm pretty intimidated here. Like, I mean, it's a pretty fucking stellar lineup, basically. Like, am I gonna like live up to the standards of everybody else? Because I know that definitely.
Yeah, you got to step your game. Everyone's got to bring their best game. Everyone's got to
Yeah,
be ready
really.
to go, you know?
Waves of fear are coming back down. The machines broke down. Fear came back into the market in a very big way.
Bruh. F.
Cause it's wrong if it's real.